Thousands of lawyers, volunteer attorneys, and poll watchers are preparing for legal battles to make sure their candidate gets the best chance of winning this election. The Republican National Committee calls it its largest election year legal effort ever, more than a year in the making. Both sides have already been fighting in courts across the country over state voting procedures and mail-in ballots. But the big legal battles could come after the vote. Some lawsuits may try to limit the counting of mail-in votes. President Trump has repeatedly said he wants to see the election result on November the 3rd, questioning assertions by election officials that counting mail-in votes will require additional time.
And I think it's terrible when we can't know the results of an election the night of the election in a modern-day age of computer. I think it's a terrible thing.
Trump has said he wants to send lawyers to Pennsylvania after the election, suggesting they would seek to stop the counting of some mail-in votes. Trump has railed against mail-in voting, saying it's rife with potential for fraud, despite no evidence. The mail-in vote is thought to lean Democratic. His challenger, Joe Biden, was quick to respond.
Our response is the president's not going to steal this election.
This could be the country's most legally contested election, with the Associated Press estimating more than 260 lawsuits filed so far. However, there is one way where the role of lawyers could be diminished, if there's a clear winner.
It depends on how close the election is. If it's a close election, there are many disputes about absentee ballots. There may be disputes that arise while the polls are open, and the way these are resolved could have an important effect on the election. If it's not close, then lawyers will hardly matter.
Trump has refused to say whether he will accept the result if he loses the election to Joe Biden. On the Democratic side, legal efforts are being led by former Solicitor Generals. The Republican Party has tapped legal talent from influential law firms familiar with partisan politics. President Trump pushed for Amy Coney Barrett to be installed on the Supreme Court before Election Day, and has said he thinks she could play a decisive role should the election be decided there. Toby Muse reporting for CGTN, Washington.